Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Horrors. We want to start by thanking WZQR Pine Island and Ross at Yerds and Rainbow Radio. Thank you to you all for broadcasting us and putting us out there for everyone to listen to. And thank you, Glenn, for having us on your YouTube channel. And we want to make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Be sure you are watching us on YouTube because there are some things happening and you may not get to watch us on Facebook and other places very much longer. So be sure you are actually watching on our YouTube page. Let's bring out my wonderful co host,
Me.
Glenn. Although I can't hear him right now, I think I can hear you now, Glenn.
Oh, okay. I gotta start pushing buttons.
Cheyenne is running a little behind tonight. So Glenn is going to fill in for Cheyenne until she gets here.
I'm nowhere near as sexy, so
Oh goodness. So we left off 2 weeks ago at 1988. So we're going to finish up the 80s and start on the 90s this week, which has wonderful movies. I'm really excited about the 90s. I see there's some pretty good ones on 88 though, and we'll run through those. First, we have 976 Evil, After Death, American Gothic, Bad Dreams. We've got Beetlejuice. I'm sure
oh,
that was one on Cheyenne's list. That's a huge one. If you haven't seen Beetlejuice, you may be watching the wrong podcast right now.
even I've been known.
We've got Black Roses, The Blob. That's a great movie,
Oh
classic.
yeah,
Um, do you remember The Blob, Glenn?
yes, I do actually. As soon as you said, it, I
Oh
was
my
like, dude,
gosh.
it popped into my head. Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Let's see, we've got Blood Relations, The Brain, Brain Damage, The Carpenter, The Carrier, Celia, Stellar Dweller. That's a tongue twister if you aren't careful.
Yeah.
We've got Cheerleader Camp, Child's Play, huge movie if you haven't seen what a lot of people just refer to as Chucky.
That's what I was gonna say. It's Chucky, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yep. We've got Curse to the Bite, Curse of the Blue Lights, Dead Heat, Deadly Dreams, Deadly Intruder, Dead Mate, Dead Ringers, Dead of Night, Dinner with a Vampire. That was a made for TV movie. Don't Panic, Dracula's Widow, Dream Demon, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh,
I
yes.
love Elvira. I mean, who doesn't love Elvira though? She's the sweetest.
Yeah. Is she still alive? She was like
She
120.
is. She is. She looks fantastic. You'll have to look her up. I'm
Her
not
and
sure how
Cher.
old she is, but she looks amazing.
Yeah, her and Cher. I don't know what the secret is. So
I know. Elvira looks better than Cher at this point. Cher's had a lot of work done. Cher still got it though. Did you see her performance on Saturday Night Live, the reunion?
no, I did not.
Ah, it was pretty amazing for her age. Like, wow, she's still going.
Well, I mean, remember the Super Bowl? They had Dolly Parton up on the stadium, propped up halfway up in the air. So yeah, so
Yeah, they're amazing. I'm 44 and I pulled my back out just turning weird.
I don't even want to talk about back injuries. I showed you my 1945 war era chair that I'm in. So
I know.
pretty sure this came off of a Russian submarine somewhere and it was confiscated out of Virginia. I'm not sure. So
After it saying,
that's it. Hey, guess what? We've got a beautiful young lady backstage. So
"Hey, Cheyenne,
yeah, we've missed you.
can we hear her?"
Well, not yet. So she hasn't said anything. My sound is low. I don't know why my sound is low. Do I sound all right to you girls? audio. Maybe I just need to get closer. Maybe that's it. Is that better? Any? I don't know. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, Glenn.
All right. Well, Cheyenne, have you said anything? Because no, we can't
I
hear you.
can't hear you, Cheyenne.
No, no, can't hear a thing she's saying. So
We'll keep going through 88 here. We've got Evil Laugh, Evil Dead Trap, Epitaph, Family Reunion, Flesh Eating Mothers. I've never even heard of that movie.
I haven't heard that one.
We've got a couple here that's probably on Cheyenne's list. We have Friday the 13th, The New Blood, and we've got Fright Night Part 2,
Remember that?
Ghost Town, Ghoulies 2, that's a big one, Grotesque, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Headhunter, Heart of Midnight, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Have you seen the Hellraiser movies, Glenn?
I don't think so. No.
They're pretty good. We've got Hide and Go Shriek, Hobgoblins, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers,
Ooh, that sounds like one I would like.
House 2, The Second Story. I love the House movies. Have you seen those?
I don't think so, but see, the problem with being at the fire station is I see like so many beginnings, middles, and ends of movies. I don't, I don't know which ones I have
House
seen it
2
out.
is great. Do you remember Night Court?
Yes.
House 2 has Bull from Night Court in it.
Okay. All right. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
he's like this skeleton cowboy. He's really cool looking in the movie. You'll have to go watch the House movies.
Okay. I will. Yeah, because I really like them.
Yes, I like House 2 better than House, which is really odd to like a sequel better than the original. But yeah, I have a couple of movies I like that. Let's see. We've got Howling 4, the original Nightmare, Ice, and let's go back to the top over here. We have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Love it. We watch it all throughout the year. I'd say at least 5 times a year. We've got The Kiss, The Lair of the White Worm. Never heard of it.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Um, Lone Wolf, Maniac Cop. That's a good movie.
Okay. Haven't
Hmm.
heard.
Yep. Midnight Movie Massacre, Monkey Shines,
Is that the one with the
Necro.
paw? Was that the one with the paw where the paw twitched and you had like 3 wishes or something in the
I'm not
last?
sure.
Yeah, it was. It was really it was a creepy movie. And then it might have been way before then, but yeah, it was something about a guy bought like at a flea market a monkey's paw, and if it moved
Huh.
3 times, you get wishes, but they were bad wishes, and you would die. So
Oh, that kind of reminds me of Wishmaster. Like, you can wish, but he's gonna like do something to make it like very literal or
yeah,
something
exactly.
happens
Yeah.
because of your wish. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. We've got Necromancer, The Nest, The Newly Dead. That sounds pretty cute. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, Nightmare Sisters, Night of the Demons. Great movie. Have you seen that one, Glenn?
Not this. No, not where I grew up.
I
No.
actually we have up on our wall back here. There's two pictures, and one of those is Angela from Night of the Demons. Let's see. No, maybe I have my movies mixed up. Maybe I can't remember. Let's see. I'm not with it
Thing?
today. Hey, I can hear you, Cheyenne.
Okay. The I don't know what happened. I had to go through and change a whole bunch of settings. Life is just a mess right now, so
Again.
That's okay. We're here. We're here.
It's a
That's
Monday for sure.
Yes, it is.
And the thing I was referring to
So
was
where
by the
were we?
Monkey's Paw by the W.W. Jacobs. It's a classic horror story. So,
Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting.
all right, I'll let you ladies carry on because, well, this is not
Thank
my.
you for stepping in, Glenn.
Hey, I'm not quite as sexy. How about my breasts? They might
Thank
be.
you.
Love you,
you
ladies.
gotta show a little bit more of the chesticles.
Okay, I'll work on that. All right. Well, I'm gonna hide backstage. If y'all need me for anything, just holler. I will be somewhere. I don't know. I'll be doing
Thanks,
something.
Glenn.
All right.
All right, we're on 1988, continuing on with the 80s, so we can move on to the 90s. We just talked about Night of the Demons.
Okay.
We're at, I was mentioning the ones you probably would have had on your list. We've got Not of This Earth, The Ogre Demons 3, Phantasm 2. I love the Phantasm movies. Phantom Brother, Pen. We have Poltergeist, another fantastic movie. Even the remake, I think we talked about this. Even the remake was really good. I love all the Poltergeist movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
We've got Pulse, Pumpkinhead. That's another good one. Let's see, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, Scarecrows, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Sleepaway Camp 2, great movies. All the Sleepaway Camps are really good. I watched them all in one day. That's hard to do, but it is possible. Slime City, Slugs, Spellbinder, Spellcaster. We've got Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-orama. Let's see, They Live,
All right.
great movie. The Unholy, Uninvited, Unmasked Part 25, The Unnameable, Verona, Watchers, Waxwork, When Alice Broke the Mirror, Witchcraft, and Zombie 3. And this, we were talking about Beetlejuice. I'm sure that was on your list. Beetlejuice came out in '88. Great movie.
It 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 actually wasn't, surprisingly. But my main one was Pumpkinhead.
Yeah,
Because I believe that was one of the first horror movies I saw, and it
yeah.
scared the absolute shit out of me.
Oh my gosh. Oh jeez. I love it. It's great when you can get a good scare, you know. They're they don't make movies like
And
they used
watching
to
it
that what
watching it back so many years later, and it's like, okay. I still, there are things that are cheesy about it, but I still really like it as a movie.
yeah.
So
Let's
are
see.
we ready for 89?
Yep, we are ready for 89.
So there were a lot of good ones for 89, but to keep it kind of short, since we had done so many of Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, the main one for me for 89 was Pet Cemetery, which came out April 21st by Mary Lambert, which got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, which starred Dale Midkiff as Lewis, Fred Gwynn as Judd, Denise Crosby as Rachel, and Miko Hughes as Gage. So Dr. Lewis Creed moves his family to Maine, which obviously we know no good things happen in Maine, where he meets friendly local Judd. After the Creed's cat is accidentally killed, Judd advises Lewis to bury it in the ground near the old pet cemetery. The cat returns to life, but its personality has changed for the worse. When Lewis's son Gage dies tragically, he decides to bury the boy's body in the same ground despite the warning from Judd and Lewis's visions of a deceased patient. Such a fabulous movie.
Yes, that's a great movie. I haven't seen the remake. Have you seen the remake?
I have
Oh,
not
I think
seen the remake, but I did see the prequel. Can you hear me?
I think we're a little bit. You're kind of coming in and out.
I haven't seen the remake. That I forget who the lead was in that one. But I did see the prequel Bloodlines. And that one was absolutely fantastic.
Nice. I haven't seen either of those yet.
If anybody has a backstory of Fred Gwynn's character, which I think is my mainly replace Fred Gwynn's character. So I didn't really have any interest in seeing the first remake they did, but got convinced to watch the prequel, and it was fantastic.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds good.
Yeah, it was very good.
What else do you have for 89?
So what else do we have for 89?
There's quite a delay with you tonight.
It's the new Wi-Fi our building has, and it sucks balls.
Oh no.
That's all I have for 89 on here.
Okay.
To avoid a humongous list of repeats from, like I said, last time we had talked so much about Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, all that. So Pet Cemetery was really the main one for 89.
Okay, we'll just run through the rest here. We've got After Midnight, Amityville 4, Amsterdam, Beware Children at Play, Beyond Dream's Door, Beyond the Door 3, Black Past, Black Rainbow, The Cellar, Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. That sounds interesting. We have Chud 2, Bud the
Very much
Chud,
so.
The Church, Clown House, Cutting Class, Dark Tower, The Dead Next Door, Deep Star 6, Dr. Calgary, Edge of Sanity, Elves, Freak Show, Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, From the Dead of Night, that was a made-for-TV movie, Grandmother's House, Rave Robbers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Hellgate, Hell High, High Desert Kill,
Still not
The
dead yet.
Horror Show, right? The House of Clocks, Howling 5, The Rebirth. The Howling movies are really good. I, Madman, Intruder, Jitters, Killer Crocodile, Las Vegas Bloodbath, Leviathan, Lobster Man from Mars, Mask of the Red Dead, Matinee, Meet the Feebles, Memorial Valley Massacre, Monster High, Murder Weapon, Mutator, Nightlife, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Night Shadow, Night Visitor, Offerings, Out of the Body, Parents, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, The Phantom of the Opera, The Preppy Murder, Puppet Master, which is a pretty good movie. I saw those probably once. It's not a huge repeat type of thing, but they're okay. You got to see them at least once. Got Rush Week, Shocker, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out, Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. Again, the Sleepaway Camp movies are great. We've got Society, Spontaneous Combustion, Stepfather 2, Stuff Stephanie in the Incinerator, The Suckling, Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat, Things, Vampire's Kiss, The Vineyard, Warlock, Wicked Stepmother, Witchcraft to the Temptress, The Woman in Black made for TV movie, and Zombie Rampage. That brings us to 1990.
I need to know
And
what
I think we
Stephanie
may
did
have
to be
lost
put in the incinerator.
Oh, there she is. We're going to have to sit Cheyenne outside so
What
she
did
can get a
Stephanie
better
do?
signal. She had terrible internet.
God dang it. My life right now.
Oh, goodness.
It's my life.
Let's see if we can get your thoughts on the 90s.
So, one that I didn't know about, which I'm intrigued to find now. I believe I saw that you can find it on Tubi. I went a little bit out of order here because I felt we had to talk about this one. This starts in February of 1990, whereas I try to organize everything by the date it came out. But we have Leanna Quigley's Horror Workout, which got a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb and a 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So after a nice shower, Leanna does some warm-up stretches and then goes for a run. She encounters some flabby zombies who follow her back to the house where she leads them in some poolside aerobic routines.
Nice. Oh, hey, there's
So,
Wendell. Hey, yes, we've heard of The Raven. That's one of my favorites. Spanguli shows that a lot.
I need to go watch that one because I'm interested in the poolside aerobics with zombies. So
That sounds pretty good.
So then to continue on, we've got Tremors, which came out January 19th by Ron Underwood, and those were some of my favorite movies growing up.
Yes, definitely.
Which got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb and an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, with Kevin Bacon as Val, Fred Ward as Earl, Michael Gross as Bert, and Reba McEntire as Heather.
Woo!
Repairmen Val and Earl are tired of their dull lives in the small desert town of Perfection, Nevada. But just as the two try to skip town, they happen upon a series of mysterious deaths and a concerning seismologist. With the help of an erratic couple, the group fights for survival against giant worm-like monsters hungry for human flesh.
Great movie.
As cheesy as those were, I absolutely loved those. My papa loved those too, so I remember me and him sitting there watching them.
Oh, that's a great memory. I can remember my
Now,
mom saying, I don't want to watch those giant worms again.
one of my I always thought they were cool, where I was kind of like it, and it's funny because of like, okay, yeah, it is, but you kind of have to take a step back from it. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess those would be pretty horrific to some people. So
I agree, Chris. Put Reba in a workout video. I'll watch it.
yeah. Can she sing during it? She can just take some breaks for some poolside serenades.
Oh, did you have anything else for 1990s,
So
Ryan?
then, yes. So probably my favorite one from 1990 is the Tales from the Dark Side movie, which came
Mm-hmm.
out May 4th by John Harrison, which got a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Had quite a few people in that one. We've got Debbie Harry as Betty, or as she's known as the Witch. Matthew Lawrence as Timmy. Christian Slater as Andy. Steve Buscemi as Bellingham. William Hickey as Drogan. And another, like when Tales from the Crypt did their movie, it's like it's an anthology movie, and you've got it's like lot 209, I believe, is the first one, or it's a number like that. Then you've got the Black Cat, and the third one is called The Lovers, but I always called that one the Gargoyle one. So the first of three dark tales involves resentful student Bellingham looking to an Egyptian mummy for help in settling some scores. Then Hitman Halston is contracted to kill a cat that has terrorized an entire or that has terrorized and even killed members of an extremely wealthy family. And lastly, struggling artist Preston witnesses the demon commit a berserk when the devilish being promises wealth in return for his silence. So I highly suggest for anybody, the last one, which is called The Lovers, is my absolute favorite one. So I highly suggest that to anybody. Then to continue on for 1990, we have got Arachnophobia, which came out July 18th by Frank Marshall, which got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Jeff Daniels as Dr. Ross Jennings, Harley Kozak as Molly, and John Goodman as Delbert. After a nature photographer dies on assignment in Venezuela, a poisonous spider hitches a ride in his coffin to his hometown in rural California, where arachnophobe Ross Jennings moved with his wife and young son. That was a hard one to watch and not be deathly afraid of spiders after. And giant spiders, for that matter. And then a tie for probably my favorite one for 1990 is the TV miniseries of It, which came out November a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. There are so many back and forth of between so many people in it between the kids and then them as adults. So I just put it down to we've got Tim Curry as Pennywise. That's the main point here. So in 1960, 7 preteen outcasts fight an evil demon that poses as a child-killing clown. 30 years later, they reunite to stop the demon once and for all when it returns to their hometown. Such a fantastic. I'll just say movie. It's a mini series, but I'm going to say it's a movie. But absolutely fantastic movie, and I didn't hate the new versions of that either, because I'm someone who really appreciates, especially if a remake is going to be made, when there are nods to the book. And in the remakes, they added a lot more nods to the book in it, especially in part 1. So I really appreciated that for a movie. If you haven't read the book, the book is over. It's like a work week long, 30 some odd hours to read the whole book. But definitely worth your time if you want a long read, because it's really good. It's super weird, but I kind of feel like it's one of those things, like, you got to experience once in your life. And then to end out 90, we will with Misery, which came out November 30th by Rob Reiner, which got a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which starred Kathy Bates as Annie Wilkes and James Caan as Paul Sheldon. After a serious car crash, novelist Paul Sheldon is rescued by former nurse Annie Wilkes, who claims to be his biggest fan. Annie brings him to her remote cabin to recover, where her obsession takes a dark turn.
Great movie. I love it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It makes you cringe throughout the movie, though. You're like, oh gosh, because you can imagine like how he feels as she's torturing him.
Yep. And I feel like gave far too many people ideas of what if you ever needed to mess somebody over. We're looking at you, Misery.
Yeah, definitely. Great movie, though. It really shows you how psycho some people are.
And Kathy Bates played that role so well, of just like how crazed she was. And she was I know there are a lot of people I know that don't really like her, but I feel like that was a testament to how good of an actress she is.
She can do anything. Like, you watch her in that, then you can turn around and watch her in like Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yeah, and even when you start looking over to seeing her in American Horror Story, she did absolutely fantastic in American Horror Story.
She does. She can pull off any role. She's fantastic. Let's see. Did you have anything else for 1990?
No, it is up to you now, ma'am.
All right. We've got some good ones here. We have Alienator, The Amityville Curse, Baby Blood, Basket Case 2, Blood Moon, Brain Dead, Bride of Reanimator, Buried Alive, A Cat in the Brain, Child's Play 2, Dark Man, The Dark Side of the Moon, Daughter of Darkness, Dead Girls, The Death King, Death by Temptation, The Exorcist 3.
A lot of death.
Yeah. Yep. The Exorcist 3, Flatliners, Frankenhooker, Frankenstein Unbound, Ghoul School, Graveyard Shift, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, The Guardian, Hardware, The Haunting of Morella, Highway to Hell, The Hook of Woodland Heights, I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, I'm Dangerous Tonight, Initiation, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Invisible Maniac, Jacob's Ladder, Killer Crocodile 2, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Maniac Cop 2, Maniac Nurses, Meridian, Metamorphosis, The Alien Factor, Mirage, Mirror Mirror, Nightbreed, The Night Brings Charlie, Night of the Dribbler, Night of the Living Dead, great movie, Pale Blood, Predator 2, Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, also a great movie. I love all the prom night movies. Psycho for the Beginning, The Reflecting Skin, Repossessed, Shockma, Skinned Alive, The Sleeping Car, Slumber Party Massacre 3, Sorority House Massacre 2, let's see, Two Evil Eyes, Voodoo Dawn, Watchers 2, Wheel of Terror, and Whispers. Oh, yes, Chris.
I need to know how does one purchase a vampire motorcycle?
I was wondering about that. Like, how can a motor, maybe it belongs to a vampire?
I was thinking maybe like a Christine situation.
Bought a vampire motorcycle. We have to look into this. Well, it looks like the motorcycle itself looks very vampire. Oh, my motorcycle runs on blood.
Okay. So that's just it. Just you have to power it by blood.
So it's a possessed motorcycle that runs on blood.
Well, that was much more anticlimactic than I expected.
It usually is.
That's why you and I need to be the one coming up with some of these movies. We had so many better ideas about the one with the microwave. I don't remember what it was called.
And
it was so much more anticlimactic than we thought it was going to be.
Yes. We had all these great ideas, and we were like, well, they didn't use any of our ideas.
No, and I was thinking, could it be like an odd Transformers situation where maybe it's not a robot, but it transforms into a vampire, and then it goes back to being a motorcycle? Like, come on, you could have come up with something better than that. And then, so then how did it become possessed to just run on blood? Was the motorcycle bitten by a vampire? Or
sure. Let's see.
Or just a witch puts a curse on the motorcycle and now it runs on blood. Or maybe it was a vampire's curse.
Oh, his friend was horribly murdered.
We still have such better
his
ideas.
His girlfriend warned him the bike was a killer.
oh, he's getting all the ladies now, but it's because he needs their blood.
Chris said microwave massacre.
I think Chris is. I think that was right, but I don't remember. I think it was the guy was just like cooking body parts in the microwave, whereas I was hoping it was like a floating microwave that went around killing people.
He runs around like on a skateboard or something.
Yeah, like and I would want it to be on the level of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes as well, where it's literally just like it's a tomato just rolling along the road.
Yes.
And
I mean, you can imagine like the microwave like uses its plug to like stab people. Or like find a way to get really high up and fall on somebody.
Somehow it's sitting there with the door open and somebody's head somehow manages to fall directly into the microwave and it shuts and decapitates the guy somehow.
It's like it grows teeth, like spiked teeth. And it's like
and the fan inside somehow just
yeah.
Yeah, see, come on. We've got great ideas here. We need to go talk to Trauma. We need to go talk to Trauma.
Oh gosh.
Because
come on, Lloyd.
There was one on Lloyd. Disney ain't got nothing on the ideas that we got. Because there was another movie that was like on that same level. I think it was called Thanksgiving, where it is just a hand puppet of a turkey.
Yeah.
That they are putting like crude little costumes on to make it hide its identity. That's the. I've got to watch that one, but I heard some great things about it. And as I've said before, I'm not the type of person that likes a movie that is just inherently bad. But if they have went into the movie knowing like, no, this is going to be absolutely terrible, and that's the reason why we're doing it, then I'm all for it. As long as they're self-aware.
Right.
So I would want to do something like that. Like, like nobody notices the microwave just rolling through town because it's got a little bowler hat and like the little glasses with the fake nose and the mustache.
That's great. I love it.
It's just like a busy New York street, and it's just don't mind me.
Oh gosh.
One day.
That's right.
One day. One day we're gonna get that made.
Microwave.
But it is going to be a phallus. It is going to be a phallus with a cape, though. Because and we would have to do that on the level of the Ron Jeremy movie that I was talking about that I didn't realize was what I thought it. The one-eyed monster. It was not what I thought it was, and I should have known because Ron Jeremy was in it. I should have known, but I was somehow too naive. But there are clips from this movie because it's a possessed penis. It's a possessed penis.
And now she starts
There are images of a cop. There are pictures of a cop that is being strangled. He is fighting a penis that's around his neck because it's trying to kill him.
Jeez.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's hilarious.
That it'll just just blatantly be a fake penis that's wearing a cape that pulls out a little wand somehow and is putting spells on people with riding on top of the microwave. They're accomplices.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious. I love it.
Oh, but for 91, Chris, there probably is one. I would not be surprised. But it's a man eating pumpkin that he has stuck things in that should not be there. But for 91, I just have one to keep again from the repeating a lot of stuff. But for 91, we've got Silence of the Lambs, which came out on Valentine's Day by Jonathan Demme, which got an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb and a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
Starring Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling, and Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill. A young FBI cadet must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, a madman who skins his victims.
Great movie.
And it gets the hose again.
I love it. Again, if you have not seen Silence of the Lambs, you may be watching the wrong podcast.
Yep. And it's funny again where I was talking about Tremors, like not really thinking of it as like a horror movie. And there were a lot of things that technically more the usual horror movies that I didn't grow up watching. But I distinctly remember sitting in the living room watching this with my mother and just
That's great.
That guy's kind of creepy, Mom.
Yeah. Just a little bit. It's fine. I'm that mom to be like, it's fine. Shh. Watch the movie.
She's like, yeah, he is a little bit. I'm like, okay.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. So that's the only one you had for 91?
Yes, there was also Child's Play 2, I believe, and
3.
then Freddy's Dead. But
yep, the Final Nightmare.
I wanted to break up the monotony from last time.
Let's see. Also in 91, we had All American Murder, Alligator 2, The Mutation, Beasties, Begotten, Blood Ties, Body Parts, The Boneyard, Campfire Tales, Child of Darkness, Child of Light, Children of the Night, Child's Play 3, Haunted, Howling 6, The Freaks, Immortal Sins, Naked Lunch. Sounds weird. Omen for the Awakening.
Did you say Naked Lunch?
Naked Lunch. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Not sure. Homework. We have The People Under the Stairs. That's a huge movie. At Scarefest, we've had a lot of the actors from People Under the Stairs, and I've had the opportunity to meet them. So that's a great movie. Great cast. They're wonderful people. Let's see. The Pit and the Pendulum. Awesome movie. We watch that a lot. It's on Spinguli sometimes. We've got Popcorn, Puppet Master 2. Puppet Master 3 also came out that year. The Rapture, The Resurrected, The Rune Stone, Scanners 2, The New Order, Science Crazed, Servants of Twilight, Shock 'em Dead, Sometimes They Come Back. Awesome movie. I love that movie. Um, yeah, and sometimes they come back again. We've got sorority babes in the
And
dance-a-thon
to
of
go
death.
with sometimes they come back, we can add sometimes dead is better.
Yeah. We've got Speak of the Devil, Steel and Lace, Strays, There's Nothing Out There, Trancers 2, Winter Beast, Witchcraft 3, The Kiss of Death, and Yokai Hanta Heruko. And that brings us to 92.
All right. So to start out 92, we have got Army of Darkness.
Woo! Love it.
Which came out February 19th by Sam Raimi, which is the third installment of the first run of the Evil Dead movies. Once again with Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. The Ash is transported back to medieval days where he is captured by the dreadful Lord Arthur. Aided by the deadly chainsaw that has become his only friend, Ash is sent on a perilous mission to recover the Book of the Dead, a powerful tome that gives its owner the power to summon an army of ghouls. And we get a lovely chunk of evil Ash in that one as well.
Oh, I love those movies.
The 2 is Evil Dead 2 is still by far my favorite, just for they could have not had anybody else in that movie and it just have been Bruce Campbell and it would have been fantastic. But
Yeah,
I do love all of those.
he does such a great
He
job.
really comes into character. He really does. And then we have Death Becomes Her, which came out July 31st by Robert Zemeckis, which got an 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb and a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Meryl Streep as Madeline, Goldie Hawn as Helen, and Bruce Willis as Ernest. When a fading actress learns of an immortality treatment, she sees it as an opportunity to outdo her longtime rival. Which I was kind of questioning that one a little bit as a horror movie, but I can kind of see it, and it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. So I
It's
always
hilarious.
enjoy whenever I'm flipping through Facebook and see scenes from it. I've always got to sit there and watch them. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, that's either on Broadway right now or coming to Broadway.
Yeah, I do believe I had seen something about that. So I'll look forward to see who they have playing each of the parts.
Yes, that's more of a comedy than a horror movie. I'm surprised that was on the horror list.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that myself, but I was like, yeah, we'll throw it in there because it's a fun one.
Oh, I love
I
it.
guess
Great movie.
considering some of the parts of it, they're considering it horror. But yeah, I agree. I was just like, we'll throw it in there because it's a fun one.
Like when he blows the hole right through
And
his
then
stomach
we've
and then it
got
goes back out, or they have to fix it.
yeah. That I'm like, I guess that could be the only real reason they're considering any part of it horror, but we'll go with it. So then we've got Candyman, which came out October 16th by Bernard Rose, which got a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb and a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Tony Todd as Candyman, Virginia Madsen as Helen Lyle, and Bernard Rose as Archie Walsh. The Candyman, a murderous soul with a hook for a hand, is accidentally summoned to reality by a skeptic grad student researching the monster's myth. Don't go messing with stuff you don't know. That's all I gotta say.
I remember watching
don't
this
go.
one in middle school, and we used to dare each other to go into the bathroom, turn the light off, and say Candyman 3 times in the mirror.
That I remember whenever I was younger of them doing something similar, but with Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all don't do it. Don't do it. Don't mess with stuff y'all ain't prepared to deal with.
Yeah. Tony Todd is great too. He's so creepy, just being himself.
Yes.
He's a creepy dude, or was a creepy dude.
But I've heard that he was an excellent individual, a very nice gentleman.
Yes, I've heard the same.
So then to end out 92, probably one of my favorite movies, definitely my favorite movie of 92, is Bram Stoker's Dracula, which came out November 13th by Francis Ford Coppola, which got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb and a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Gary Oldman as Dracula, Winona Ryder as Mina, Keanu Reeves as Jonathan, Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing, Carrie Ells as Arthur, and Tom Waits as Renfield. So for the description of this one, I just put typical Dracula story, just a little more spicy. And I think that's honestly why I liked this version so much.
Yeah.
I loved the actress that played Lucy, and once Lucy becomes like she is turning into one of the brides, I love that scene after they've buried her and the way she looks.
Yeah.
It was just so fantastically done. And I've got to give a shout out because this is one that I spent my hard-earned money as an adult to buy on Amazon so that I could watch it regularly. To just pop over onto Amazon Prime to watch. And once I will get back into a movie that I haven't seen in a while, I'll tend to go through and research more of the people in it. And I didn't realize that Tom Waits was Renfield. And if anybody has not went over and listened to any of Tom Waits' music, whenever you're looking at him as Renfield and then go look at his music, it's like crazy to me. He's got a song that I highly suggest for anybody I believe it's called Hell Broke Loose. That is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely a style of music that is not for everybody, but he is so gruff in his voice, how he sings. It's absolutely fantastic. But this is definitely one of my favorite movies, and I think gave most people a serious crush on a young Gary Oldman.
Nice. You'll have to send me some of his music. Send me that song.
Yes, I will. It's like I said, I had got back into it and I was like, he looks familiar, but I don't know where I know him from. And I was like, wait a minute, is this the same? This is the same Tom Waits. Hold on a second. And I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know that he acted too. So yeah, it was crazy, but I'll definitely send you over some of it to check out because he's a hell of a singer.
Oh, that's interesting.
So what else do we have for 92?
We've got Alien 3 Amityville 1992, It's About Time. We've got Basket Case 3, The Progeny. Brain Dead. Uh, so this next movie is one of my favorites and has the best death scene of any movie I've ever seen, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And if you don't remember, you'll have to go back and watch Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, die in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It is the funniest death in any movie I've ever seen. It lasts for 2 or 3 minutes, and he's just, oh, oh, oh. And then right when you think he's dead, he pops back up, oh. And it is hilarious. You've got to
Yeah,
go back and watch that.
I'll have to. I'll have to go look at that. It's funny with Paul Rubens. I don't remember what made me go look it up, but I didn't realize that he was in Tim Burton's Batman at the beginning of Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Just to see, it's like, oh, that's Pee Wee Herman. That's so weird.
Yeah. And that's like when I saw Bruce Campbell in Spider-Man. I was like, that's Bruce Campbell. Like, this ain't the Evil Dead. This is Spider-Man. What's he doing in Spider-Man? It's weird to
And
see
then
somebody change characters
wait,
like
that's
that.
Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Why is Randy Savage there too?
It's so weird. So weird. Especially when you don't know they're going to be there, and then all of a sudden they're there, and you're like, wait a second. So yeah, you've got to go watch Paul Rubens die in Buffy. It was fantastic. Let's see. We've also got Deceit, Demonic Toys, Dolly Dearest, Dr. Giggles, Dust Devil, Evil Tunes, Fraternity Demon, The Gate to Trespassers, Grave Secrets, The Legacy of Hilltop, The Legacy of Hilltop Drive, Hellmaster, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, House 4, Innocent Blood, The Lawnmower Man, very popular movie, Mad at the Moon, Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence, Netherworld, Nightmare Asylum, Pet Cemetery 2, Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, Reanimator Academy, Revenge of Billy the Kid, Scanners 3, The Takeover, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker, Sleepwalker, Stepfather 3, The Unnameable 2, The Statement of Randolph Carter, and The Vagrant, Witchcraft 4, The Virgin Heart. And we have 93.
All right. So to start off 93, we are starting off with Leprechaun, which came out January 8th by Mark Jones, which got a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun. Love Warwick Davis. I'm a Harry Potter guy. Jennifer Aniston as Tori and Shay Duffin as Dan O'Grady. An evil, sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing rampage in search of his beloved pot of gold, which, they just pissed him off. They put him in a cage and forgot about him for years, and then when the property got taken over, they let him out. So yeah, he's going to be a little pissed. So can't blame him. Can't say I blame him.
Not one bit.
And yeah, yeah, because those weren't ever really movies that I was really interested in. But the more I was looking up on them, I was like, yeah, you go to you're on your vacation to his homeland in Ireland, you steal his gold, he follows you to get it, then you lock him in a cage for however many years. Yeah, yeah. I don't feel bad for
I,
y'all.
I try to watch everything once, and I do love Jennifer Aniston. Like Friends is my favorite show of all time. So I've seen the Leprechaun movies probably twice, but it's not one of my favorites.
I would probably just watch it for Warwick Davis, because I believe he also did Willow, which was one of my mom's favorite movies. But obviously, like I said, I'm a big Harry Potter person, and I really like Warwick Davis. So, and then the last one, the last big one for '93. Which again, I had a hard time. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess it is a horror movie. It's just we don't look at it as a horror movie. Is Jurassic Park, which came out
Oh,
June 11th, by Steven Spielberg, which got an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb and a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Sam Neill as Alan Grant, Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, Jeffrey Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, and
love
Richard
Jeffrey.
Attenborough as John Hammond. Jeffrey.
And you don't think about Jurassic Park as being a horror movie, but I guess, that
Mm-mm.
they're going to eat them, you know? And so it really depends on how you
Well,
look at these movies.
and these were ones that I grew up with. Like me and my dad used to do um I'm trying to think of how to word it. Like we would take the 3 Jurassic Park movies. We would take, at the time, the 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and we would do like a movie weekend or something. So
Yeah,
the Jurassic Park was always part of those. So even whenever I was younger, I never looked at it as a horror movie. To me, that was just an action movie. But then I'm like,
right.
okay, yeah, I guess I guess that would be for some people. I mean, I haven't heard of many people that are actively afraid of dinosaurs, but okay, yeah, I guess it is. You've gotta you've gotta take a step back because to me, I'm looking at it. This is an action movie,
Right.
but I'm like, okay, I guess that is a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, paleontologists Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, as well as mathematician Ian Malcolm, are among a select group chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs, created from prehistoric DNA. While the park's mastermind assures everyone that the facility is safe, they find out otherwise when ferocious predators break free and go on the hunt.
Great movies.
And I was just recently doing a rewatch through of all of these, because I believe technically it's one of the least liked, but I really liked the third one for
Hmm.
the Spinosaurus, which I thought was really cool. So I was watching into the newer ones, and there's like one lone one that you have to buy. I can't find it anywhere. And I'm really weird about watching movies in order and not jumping everywhere in them, because it's like there's the one you can't find and then the last one that's out. The last one that's out I can watch for free, but I don't want to watch it until I can watch this other one where it's the last one that's come out and they're now it's it's absolutely killing me because that last one is like, oh, okay, now we're learning to live in harmony with dinosaurs. And I'm like, what? What?
Oh gosh.
You can't tell me that we've learned how to do that. So it's been driving me nuts because I'm like, oh, I want to watch it and see what a shit show it's going to be, but I can't because I can't watch the other one yet.
Yeah, when we know there's going to be two parts to a movie like it, we waited for the second one to come out to even watch the first one. We didn't want to watch the first one and not be able to go watch the second one. But we've had to watch.
We went and saw it. We went and saw it in theaters, and that about killed me to have to wait for part 2. So I can understand.
Yeah. So we just waited for part 2. We're doing the same thing with Oz. We're just waiting for part 2 to come out. We haven't even watched it yet.
So what else do we have for 93?
Let's see. We've got American Cyborg, Steel Warrior, Amityville, A New Generation, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. We've got Body Bags, Body Melt, Body Snatchers, Carnosaur, Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, Chronos, The Dark Half, Dark Universe, Dark Waters, Dollman vs. Demonic Toys, Frankenstein, Full Eclipse, Ghost in the Machine, Jack Be Nimble, Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, or is it? The Killing Box.
It's never the
never.
Final Friday.
Little Tory Gory, Necronomicon again, Needful Things. Oh, I love Needful Things. That's a great movie. Night Owl, Ozone, Puppet Master 4, Return of the Boogeyman, Return of the Living Dead 3, Savage Vengeance, Skeeter, Things, Ticks, and we have Tommy Knockers. I love Tommy Knockers. The scene with all the dolls has always freaked me out.
So I have a funny story of back whenever I was in elementary and middle school. My mom didn't want to leave me alone in the morning to catch the bus. So I would go up the road to my friend's house whenever she would leave for work, and I would just hang out there until it was time to catch the bus. Well, her dad was a big reader, and there were always books everywhere. I guess I sat where he usually sat. That was just kind of my place in the morning. So because they were typically still sleeping, I would just pick up one of his books and start reading it. And he had the Tommy Knockers there, and it was such a good book that I remember like folding one of the pages, and I saw him, and I was like, I'm reading that. Don't mess with my page. I'm the good part. So it's a hefty book. I thought it might have been one I still had here, but it's a really good book.
Yeah, great story. Let's see. We've got To Sleep with a Vampire, Trauma, Warlock the Armageddon, When a Stranger Calls Back, Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, Witchcraft 5, Dance with the Devil, The Witching, and Zombie Bloodbath.
All right. So to start off 94, we've got two good ones for 94. We start off with The Crow, which came out May 10th by Alex Proyas, which got a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb and an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, which starred Brandon Lee as Eric Draven, Ernie Hudson as Sergeant Albrecht, Michael Wincott as Top Dollar, and Tony Todd as Grange. The night before his wedding, musician Eric Draven and his fiancée are brutally murdered by members of a violent gang. On the anniversary of their death, Eric rises from the grave and assumes the mantle of the Crow, a supernatural avenger.
I was pretty obsessed with this
So-
movie.
Whenever I first saw it, I hated it. I don't know why, but I hated it. And then I watched it a couple more times because that was like my ex's main movie of all time. And I was just like, I'm not feeling it. And then I ended up watching it again by myself. And I was like, okay. I started to, I think I appreciated Brandon Lee's snarkiness, the little bit of snarkiness, while still keeping that deadpan as he was going around to each person. And I was like, okay, I really like this. And I really liked the little girl and Ernie Hudson in it. So the more I watched it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it. It had a great soundtrack too.
Yeah, that was his like that was basically his coming of age movie. My ex's coming of age movie of once that soundtrack hit as he's putting on the Crow makeup, and I was like, okay, I can kind of get it because that's pretty. It's pretty bomb. I can see it. But rest in peace to Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, for passing away while making that movie.
Yeah.
So then last for 94, we have Interview with the Vampire, which came out November 11th by Neil Jordan, which got a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Tom Cruise as Lestat, Brad Pitt as Luis, Kirsten Dunst as Claudia, and Christian Slater as Daniel Malloy. Born as an 18th century lord, Luis is now a bicentennial vampire telling his story to an eager biographer. Suicidal after the death of his family, he meets Lestat, a vampire who persuades him to choose immortality over death and become his companion. Eventually, gentle Luis resolves to leave his violent maker, but Lestat guilts him into staying by turning a young girl. That is also based on the 1976 Gothic horror by Anne Rice.
I love it.
That is one that has I have not seen it. It has never interested me to see it. I think because every time I see the cover of it, it makes me laugh because of the makeup.
Oh, it's so
whenever
good.
I see Tom Cruise, it makes me laugh.
You've
And I
gotta watch
just
it.
have a hatred for Tom Cruise. But after I was reading up on that, I was like, okay, now I'm a little more intrigued. But
Yeah.
I tend to boycott anything Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But the more I was reading, I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, I can stop my boycotting of Scientology for like 2 hours to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So
It might be under 2
yeah,
hours.
I was like,
It's
okay.
pretty long.
I was guessing 2 hours just because I knew it was a long one, but I was like, okay, yeah, might have to watch it now.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it might be one of those that I check out the book first. I
Yeah.
guess I could give up my hatred for Scientology for 2 hours and 3 minutes to watch a vampire movie, since I do love my vampire movies.
It's a great movie. You'll have to let me know when you watch it.
If I can find it somewhere, that might be something I do tonight, so
Yeah. You'll have
we'll
to
keep
let
you
me know for
updated.
sure. Okay. Let's see. Also for 94, we had The Birds 2 Lands End, Brain Scan, Cemetery Man, Creatures from the Abyss, Death Machine, Demented, The Earth Met Jerry, Funny Man, The Haunting of Seacliff Inn, In the Mouth of Madness. That's a great movie. We've got Leprechaun 2, Lurking Fear, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Great movie. Mirror Mirror 2, Raven Dance, Night Watch. Also a great movie. Night of the Demons 2. Great movie. We've got a lot of good ones for
Mhm.
94. Phantasm
Mhm.
3, Lord of the Dead, Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, Puppet Master 5, The Final Chapter, Bridget, Savage Harvest, Shrunken Heads, Sorceress, Twisted Tales, Vampires and Other Stereotypes, Watchers 3, and one of my favorites, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I love it. We've got Wicked Games.
I thought that New Nightmare was quite an interesting take. It was an quite an interesting idea.
Yes. Yeah. It's one of my favorites for sure. Let's see. We've got Wicked Games, Witchcraft 6, Wolf, and Yuxat.
All right, are we ready for 95?
We're ready.
All right. So to start off 95, we have got Tales from the Hood, which came out May 24th by Rusty Cundiff, which stars the director, Rusty Cundiff, as Richard, Clarence Williams III as Mr. Sims, and David Alan Grier as Carl. So a creepy mortician, Mr. Sims, attempts to scare teenage drug dealer Stack and his friends straight by telling them 4 horrifying stories. One is about a guilt-riddled cop who goes crazy after ignoring his corrupt partner. He also tells a meek schoolboy. He tells of a meek schoolboy with terrifying supernatural powers. Although the young thugs want to take their drugs and escape, Mr. Sims, who still has 2 more tales to tell. Then we go to Vampire in Brooklyn, which came out October 27th by Wes Craven, which stars Eddie Murphy as Preacher Polly, Angela Bassett as Detective Rita, and Kadeem Hardison as Julius Jones. In the wake of his mother's death in a mental institute, in the wake of her mother's death, in a mental institution, Detective Rita Vedder is assigned to a baffling serial murder case. After examining the crime scene, a corpse-riddled ship found adrift at sea, Rita meets Maximilian, a smooth-talking Caribbean playboy determined to romance her. When Rita begins suffering from crippling hallucinations, she calls upon Dr. Zecco, an occultist who suspects a vampire is on the loose.
Great movie. I love that one.
I love me some 90s Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then to end out 95, we have got Dracula Dead and Loving It, which
Another
came
great
out
movie.
December 22nd. Came out December 22nd by fabulous director Mel Brooks, which stars Leslie Nielsen as Count Dracula, Mel Brooks as Van Helsing, Stevie Weber as Jonathan Harker, and Harvey Korman as John Seward. Dapper Count Dracula relocates from his Transylvanian castle to Victorian London with his slavish assistant Renfield in search of new blood. He finds it in a pair of beautiful young women, Mina and her best friend Lucy. When Mina's straight laced fiance Jonathan notices his future bride's odd behavior, he calls in his mentor, vampire hunter Van Helsing, to save the day.
Great movie. I love it. Can't go wrong with Leslie
Absolutely
Nielsen.
love. Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Oh goodness. Did you have anything else for 95?
No, that's all for 95.
Oh
Chris,
my
yep.
gosh,
Yep,
Chris.
that was precisely my thought as well.
What has Glenn got on you, Chris?
What secrets have you told him, Chris?
Let's see here. Also for 95, we have Addicted to Murder, The Addiction, Alien Terminator, The Babysitter, Burial of the Rats, Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. That was also a great movie. No, we don't always get great sequels.
Mhm.
That was a great sequel. We have Carnosaur 2, Castle Freak, Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest, Creep, Dangerous Seductress, Darkman 2, The Return of Durant, The Day of the Beast, Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde, Iko Azaraku, Embrace of the Vampire, Freak Show, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Haunted, The Haunting of Helen Walker, Howling, New Moon Rising, Huntress, Spirit of the Night, Ice Cream Man, Jack O, Leprechaun 3, Lord of Illusions. That is a great movie if you have not seen it. Lord of Illusions. We've got The Mangler, Mosquito, Night of the Scarecrow, Piranha, another great movie if you have not seen Piranha, The Prophecy, Screamers, Serpent's Lair, Seven, which I think most people have seen Seven. I saw it one time and
Mhm.
that was good. We've got Species, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, Tokyo Fist, Village of the Damned, Visitors of the Night, The Wasp Woman, Witchboard 3, The Possession, Witchcraft 7, Judgment Hour, and Extra 3, Watch the Skies. And we have 96.
All right. The year of my birth. So we start
I
out.
was 15.
So we start out. So we start out 5 days after my birth with From Dusk Till Dawn. Which I have a very funny story about this movie actually. Which got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb and a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which stars Quentin Tarantino as Richard Gecko, George Clooney as Seth Gecko, Selma Hayek as Santanico, Danny Trejo as Razor Charlie.
I love Danny Trejo and this movie. Great movie.
I do too. On the run from a bank robbery that left several police officers dead, Seth Gecko and his paranoid loose cannon brother Richard hightail it to the Mexican border. Kidnapping preacher Jacob Fuller and his kids, the criminals sneak across the border in the family's RV and hole up in a topless bar. Unfortunately, the bar also happens to be home base for a gang of vampires, and the brothers and their hostages have to find their way out. Fantastic Robert Rodriguez movie. So the funny thing about this is like I was saying earlier, I didn't see a lot of horror movies growing up. But I was spending a weekend with my dad when he was with one of his longtime girlfriends, and we were having like a family movie night. And they had not seen this movie before. So my dad's girlfriend had a son that was like 2 years younger than me, and then a son that was like, whenever I was like 13 or 14, he was like 5 or 6.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then she also had a teenage daughter who was like 2 years older than me. So we're all sitting there as they put this up on the big screen, and we're all like, I don't think this is the vampire movie you thought it was going to be. That's a lot of boobs. That's a lot of boobs, and that's a lot of somebody's feet in Quentin Tarantino's mouth.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that exact same scenario happened with Brokeback Mountain.
Oh no. What did they think it was?
Yeah. Don't ask me. I have no idea. But we were just like,
yeah.
I was like,
No.
I think this is, I don't, this, because I was the one that was like, I think this is leading in a direction that you don't think it's leading. And they're like, no. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's, oh, yep, that's where it's heading.
Great movie, great love story. Love Brokeback Mountain. Great movie, great story, but not for kids.
Yep. So I was just like, well, that's there. I know what Selma Hayek's titties look like. All right, great.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, definitely. That's great.
Yeah. Needless to say, I did not tell my mother about that weekend.
Oh my goodness.
So then to carry on, we have got The Craft, which came out May 3rd by Andrew Fleming. It's got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars, I can never pronounce her name correctly. Is it Fairuza? Fairuza Balk as Nancy? Faruka Balk as Nancy Downs, Robin Tunney as Sarah Bailey, Nev Campbell as Bonnie, and Rachel True as Rochelle.
Great movie.
After transferring to a Los Angeles high school, Sarah finds that her telekinetic gift appeals to a group of 3 wannabe witches. who happen to be seeking a fourth member for their rituals. Bonnie, Rochelle, and Nancy, like Sarah herself, all have troubled backgrounds, which combined with their powers lead to dangerous consequences. When a minor spell causes a fellow student to lose her hair, the girls grow power mad.
I love it. Great movie.
Such a good one. And then for our next one, it is technically action sci-fi, but was on a lot of horror lists, and I said screw it and added it anyway. So we have got Independence Day, which came out July 3rd by Roland Emmerich. I felt maybe with the UFOs and everything that could be considered horror to some people, so we'll go with it.
Sure.
Which stars Will Smith as Captain Stephen, Bill Pullman as the president, Jeffrey Goldblum as David Levinson, and Margaret Collin as Constance. We get more Jeffrey.
Yay,
That's all that
Jeffrey.
matters.
That's right.
In the epic adventure film Independence Day, strange phenomena surface around the globe. The skies ignite, terror races through the world's major cities. All these extraordinary events unfold. It becomes increasingly clear that a force of terrible magnitude has arrived. Its mission, total annihilation over the 4th of July weekend. The last hope to stop the destruction is an unlikely group of people united by fate and unimaginable circumstances. And not to doubt the crazies, because Randy Quaid was right.
It is a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like everybody's 4th of July tradition too. So,
Oh, we missed you too, Greg. We really
so
wanted to be there.
then
So many things came up that weekend. It was crazy.
we should have hit you up, Greg. We could have went to dinner or something, because we didn't leave until we still went to Tennessee. We just didn't. We went and did touristy stuff, but we definitely plan on going back. So we had so much fun. Then we have Mars Attacks, which came out December 13th by Tim Burton, which stars Jack Nicholson as President James, Jack Black as Billy Nora, and Annette Bening as Barbara Land. A fleet of Martian spaceships surround the world's major cities, and all of humanity waits to see if the extraterrestrial visitors have, as they claim, come in peace. U.S. President James Dale receives assurance from science professor Donald Kessler that the Martians' mission is a friendly one, but when a peaceful exchange ends in the total annihilation of the U.S. Congress, military men call for a full-scale nuclear retaliation. And then our last one for 96, we've got Scream, that came out December 20th by Wes Craven. Got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb and a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, David Arquette as Dewey Riley, Skeet Ulrich as Billy Loomis, Drew Barrymore as Casey Becker, and Matthew Lillard as Stu.
This is in my top 10. This is one of my favorite movies.
So
I love it. I can turn it on at any time and just have it on in the background. I love it.
So Wes Craven reinvented and revitalized the slasher horror genre with this modern horror classic, which manages to be funny, clever, and scary as a fright masked knife maniac stalks high school students in middle class suburbia. Craven is happy to provide both tension and self-parody as the body count mounts, but the victims aren't always the ones you'd expect.
Awesome movie. Love it. I've met the guys, Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard. They're awesome. They're so friendly and nice.
I'd love to meet Matthew Lillard.
He's hilarious. He is. He gave Abe a hug, and Abe's not a hugger. And he was like,
Oh. Whoa,
but
buddy.
yeah, they're really sweet.
Just shut up. It's Matthew Lillard. Just let him hug you.
He took my phone and was taking selfies of us and everything. So yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about him.
Yeah, he even went to like the after party and everything and hung out with everybody, all the fans and everything.
I love celebrities that are like that are just so down to earth people and, have done so much, but are just still so down to earth people.
Yep, that's him for sure. Do we have anything else for 96, Cheyenne?
What else do we have for 96?
All right, we've got Alien Force, Alien Terminator, Amityville Dollhouse, Bad Moon, Carnosaur 3 Primal Species, Children of the Corn 4 The Gathering. We've got Darkman 3, Die Darkman Die, Dead of Night, The Dentist, Eco Eco Azaraku 2, Feeders. Oh, The Frighteners. I love The Frighteners. I love Michael J. Fox, and he was awesome in that. Have you seen that one, Cheyenne?
I have not. I am not personally the biggest Michael J. Fox fan.
Oh, you've got to see The Frighteners. It's fantastic. He can see the number 13 pop up on someone's forehead, and that means they're next to die, and the Grim Reaper is coming after them. And he can actually see the Reaper, and he can see the ghost. It's really good. Really good. You'll have to check it out.
Huh.
I won't give it away.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's a whole cool story behind it. You'll have to watch it. We've got Goblet of Goes, Head of the Family, Hellraiser Bloodline, Henry 2, Portrait of a Serial Killer, Lawnmower Man 2, Beyond Cyberspace, Lustful Revenge, Pinocchio's Revenge, Polymorph, Reindeer Game, Tales from the Crypt presents Bordello of Blood. That's a great movie. We have Thinner, also a great movie. If you haven't seen Thinner, yeah, it's just really good. I won't give it away. We've got Tremors 2 Aftershocks, Trilogy of Terror 2, Twisted Tales, The Uninvited, Vampirella, Witchcraft 8, Salem's Ghost. And that brings us to 97.
All right. So we start off 97 with Anaconda, which came out April 11th by Louis Losa. Which got a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which starred John Voight as Paul Cerrone, Jennifer Lopez as Terry Flores, and Ice Cube as Danny Rich, and Owen Wilson as Gary Dixon. Filmmaker Terry Flores is traveling deep in the Amazon jungle looking for a forgotten tribe. Terry and her crew, which includes an anthropologist and a cameraman, come across Paul, who is stranded on the riverbank. He offers to help them find the tribe, but his secretive behavior puts everyone on edge. They realize too late that he's using them to find a legendary anaconda that's worth a fortune, if they can catch it. And it's
a
funny,
great
that's
movie.
one that I remember watching whenever I was younger and thinking how freaky it was. And then when you go back and watch it, it's like, yep, that's a giant snake. That
Yeah,
is
it's
certainly a giant snake.
it's good, but anyone else, like when you hear anaconda, I instantly go to Baby Got Back. So what? None unless you got bugs,
Yeah.
son. Like
Yep. They could have just like swapped out Ice Cube for Sir Mix-a-Lot just for the joke of it. He probably would have done it.
that would have been great if they had put Baby Got Back in the movie.
Like if as the final scene is rolling and it's going to the end credits that just starts.
Yes, I love it. That would have been great.
I would have appreciated that. So then we have probably my favorite superhero movie, despite how bad the movie is itself, but my favorite comic book character. We've got Spawn, which came out August 1st by Mark DePay, which got a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb and a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. I will say it did deserve the 17%. And we've got Mike Roll Times, and I didn't know this, but I absolutely love in the comics The Violator, because I love anything that's got big, crazy teeth. I didn't know it until looking all of this up that it's John Leguizamo that plays the Violator, and I was like, well, geez. Then Melinda Clark that plays Jessica Priest, and Martin Sheen who plays Jason Wynn. Covert government assassin Al Simmons is killed after being double-crossed by his boss, Jason Wynn. Upon arriving in hell, Simmons is offered an opportunity to return to Earth if he's willing to lead an evil army. He accepts and is reincarnated as Hellspawn, a twisted, horribly disfigured version of his former self. However, Spawn serves as a force of good, much to the dismay of the devil's henchman, a wicked clown, which is the Violator. I would say it's definitely worth it for the goofiness, particularly of the scenes in hell. How bad the screen that they're using is. But I love the art for the Spawn books. It's my favorite comic. But only if Greg Capullo was drawing it. And then we move on to The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which came out May 19th by Steven Spielberg, which got a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb and a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. We're getting a lot of Jeffrey, which I appreciate.
I love Jeffrey.
We've got Jeffrey Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, Vanessa Chester as Kelly, Richard Attenborough as John Hammond, and Julianne Moore as Dr. Sarah Harding. This is the sequel in which the entrepreneur who genetically engineered the monsters in Jurassic Park transpires to have cloned more of the prehistoric monsters on another island location. Researchers arrive to observe the creatures in their natural habitat, but hot on their heels is a band of mercenaries intent on capturing the dinosaurs and transporting them back to the San Diego Zoo. Because that's going to go exactly how you planned.
Oh, goodness. I love those movies.
And I do too. And then we have I Know What You Did Last Summer, which came out October 17th by Jim Gillespie. It's got a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Sarah Michelle Gellar as Helen, Freddie Prinze Jr. as Ray, Jennifer Love Hewitt as Julie, and Ryan Phillippe as Barry. A year after
Also a
running
great
over
movie.
a fisherman and dumping his body in the water, four friends reconvene when Julie receives a frightening letter telling her that their crime was seen. While pursuing who he thinks is responsible for the letter, Barry is run over by a man with a meat hook. The bloodletting only increases from there as the killer with the hook continues to stalk Julie, Helen, and Ray. Which it's funny because it only makes me think of Scary Movie.
I love I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was a great movie when it came out.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I do too.
And then to continue on, we have got The Devil's Advocate, which came out October 17th by Taylor Hackford, which got a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stars Al Pacino as John Milton, Charlize Theron as Mary Lomax, Keanu Reeves as Kevin Lomax, and Connie Nielsen as Christabella. Aspiring Florida defense lawyer Kevin Lomax accepts a high-powered position at a New York law firm headed by legal shark John Milton. As Kevin moves up in the firm's ranks, his wife, Marianne, has several frightening, mystical experiences that begin to warp her sense of reality. With the stakes getting higher with each case, Kevin quickly learns that his mentor is planning a far greater evil than simply winning without scruples. And then our last one for 97 is Scream 2, which came out December 12th. Also by Wes Craven, which got a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb and an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, starring Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, David Arquette as Dewey Riley, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers. Sidney and tabloid reporter Gail Weathers survived the events of the first Scream, but their nightmare isn't over. When two college students are murdered at a sneak preview of Stab, a movie based on the events from the first film, it's clear a copycat killer is on the loose. Sidney and Gail, as well as fellow survivors Deputy Dewey and Randy, have to find out who is behind this new murder spree before they all end up dead.
Great movie. I remember going to
And
see this
that is
at
the
the
last for
theater.
97.
All right. We've also got Aberration, Alien Resurrection, an American Werewolf in Paris. Love it. We've got Bleeders, The Bloody Ape, Breeders, The Burning Moon, The Creeps, Cube, Event Horizon, Gut Pile, House of Frankenstein, great movie. Jack Frost, of course, we always watch that one around Christmas time. It's really great. In spots. We've got Leprechaun 4 in Space, Lost Highway, Mimic, The Night Flyer, Night of the Demons 3, Night Scream, Night Watch, Quicksilver Highway. I love that movie. Great. The Relic. I love that movie. Have you seen The Relic?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I know I've seen it before,
Yeah.
but it's been a long time. I don't really remember anything about it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We actually turned it on not too long ago and watched it. We've got The Shining that aired on TV. Had to sit through all the commercials.
Mhm.
Shopping for Fangs, Skeletons, Trucks, The Ugly, Uncle Sam, Wishmaster. I loved Wishmaster. Oh, great movie. He was so creepy and his voice was just, I mean, his voice was so deep, but you didn't expect that to come out of him, you know?
Mhm.
I'm like, is that really him talking like that? But that was a great movie. Um, and it looks like we are actually right at 10 o'clock. So we will stop there at 97. And in a couple of weeks, we will continue on with 98 and get into the 2000s where we're going to have a lot of great movies. Um, so many great movies on here. I mean, I could talk about this for hours, like the Scream movies. Scream 2, oh my gosh. When we saw that in the theater, spoiler alert coming up if you have not seen Scream 2, but this girl like stands up in the middle of the movie and she yells, "Not Randy! I was going to marry him!" So
Oh
those are
gosh.
always fun. I love the Scream movies. Like I went to see the last one that came out in theater and actually told these people beside us that they needed to shut up. It's like I came to see the movie not to hear you all talk through it. And I was like, you need to stop talking. And the guy was like, oh my gosh. I said, yeah, oh my gosh, we're at a movie and you're talking through it. It's like,
Like at least whisper, geez.
yeah, they were sitting there just talking like you and I are sitting here talking to each other now.
Jeez.
It was crazy.
Rude.
Yeah,
They would
I
have
know.
they would have been better off to have their cell phones out.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. So I'm not too scared to tell somebody to be
I
quiet at a movie.
I look really I look really forward to 99.
Yeah.
Because the first movie that's actually on there is one that I happened across back when we had like Dish Network and I was like flipping through HBO and it was just on like on a loop on HBO and like I became like obsessed with that movie for a while. Like I went through and recorded it so I could go back and watch it. And it's certainly an odd one. That's for sure. But I look forward to talking about that one because anybody who hasn't seen it, it's a really good movie. And my
I've
first
heard.
time in uh seeing Robert Downey Jr. in something that wasn't Iron Man. So
I also see the worst movie ever made in '99, so we can talk about that one too.
Which one are you talking about?
The Blair Witch Project.
Well, yeah, I've got that on the list too. Oh, but the scariest movie ever made, Amanda.
No, that is the worst movie ever made. If you can even call it being made. Like, it looks like it's shot on a
They're just
GoPro.
they're. I mean, I enjoy those type of like the found footage movies. There's one that we went and saw in theaters, and I didn't see it do a whole lot, but it was a good movie. And I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to see a found footage UFO movie. It's called Phoenix Forgotten. If you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a little bit longer to go into parts of it.
Yeah.
But we went and saw it in theaters, and I believe it's a sister who is going out looking for her brother, and then they find all the footage of everything. Like I love a good found footage movie. But I've seen enough to know I don't need to waste my time on that one. I mean, I feel like it had potential. There was potential there, but they completely bombed it.
Yeah. So, it's going to take a little while to get through 98 and 99. There's some really great movies on there.
Yep. Very much agree.
So, everyone be sure to join us in 2 weeks, Monday night, 8 p.m. That will be, oh my gosh, time flies. That will be June 2nd.
Good Lord. This year has flown by.
Yes. So join us June 2nd, 8 p.m. for Monday Night Horrors.
And maybe at that point we'll figure out what Chris owes Glenn.
Yeah. We got to figure that one out.
and we'll have more great movie ideas by then.
Yes. And make sure to join in and jump in and tell us what your favorite movies are in the chat. Like, share,
Absolutely.
and subscribe. Bye, everybody.